My name is Mark Qualls. I was born and raised here. My parents are Lonnie and Marie Qualls that spent all their lives here in this county. I graduated college. I got a job with Battleground Enterprises. Been with them for almost 15 years, turning around companies. And moved back to my hometown in 2015. And after never being involved in politics, I've decided, after seeing some opportunities here and family being here, that if I didn't step in and do something, I'm not sure who would. So that's when I decided to get involved, go to commissioners' meetings, a lot of meetings, and see if I can figure out what's going on and how I can fix it, what I need to do to resolve it. Leadership, management. I've hired thousands of employees. I've fired quite a bit of employees. I've ran operations for almost 20 years, dealing with the public, dealing with teenagers, dealing just with crew managers, understanding what it takes to develop companies and to make them successful, and to figure out what our strengths are, what our weaknesses are, and what we need to work on, and at the same time, be positive and look forward to what we can do to make things better. And make more money when it comes to business sense. Here it's more of economic jobs. It's more about family, comfort of life, recreation, things of that sort, and figuring it out on a government type level. My family, I have a wonderful wife that treats me like gold. I have beautiful kids. That's my core. Besides us having God in it, that's the core of my life right there. And as far as the successes, I felt like it was an accomplishment to finally graduate college and then graduate college again. I felt like that was something that I worked hard for, and you seem to appreciate things more when you work hard for them. And I think in the past 2 years that I have been here, I think that we've progressed in this county, even with my indirect influence being involved. Now, part of that is getting the citizens involved, and no matter if it's Facebook or paper or wherever it's at. But I've seen progress in our county in the past 2 years, and maybe part of it is the transparency that it's brought as far as being able to video record the commissioners' meetings, or just making certain people aware that we're watching you now versus doing whatever we like behind closed doors. And I've seen progression here, and that's one of, I feel like at this moment, one of my biggest achievements. Skill set. As far as leadership and being able to get people to make decisions that are in the best interest of the county citizens. Even though originally they may not agreed with that. It's instead of being separated like a silo where you're trying to work independent or have your little clique in meetings or whatnot, it's more about working together, and that's what I want to do is do everything united.
Yeah. So they basically look for candidates that can bring unity.
Bring unity, but also bring that interpersonal skill set to be able to get things done, and someone that's going to work hard. I made the commitment before the campaign started that no one will outwork me, and I've stayed true to that. I go to every single thing that I can, and I've knocked on more doors than any mayor candidate for sure, because I've knocked on enough to realize that who's came and who hasn't. And and that's what I'm going to do. And I think that's what we need as a mayor, is a leader and someone that's going to work for us. And I may not have all the answers right now, but I can promise that I'll find them. And if I don't know them, I'll reach out to the people that I know that can advise us or myself in doing it. There's a few things in the budget. Some things I don't want to get too specific to because it deals with other people and other departments. It wouldn't be politically correct for me to say certain specifics. I will tell you that there's money in there, for an example, from the hotel motel tax. They're not announcing it. The hotel motel tax is specifically for parks and recreation and tourism. It's earmarked specifically for that. Supposedly, through me researching, there wasn't much in there because after the $11,300 that we supposedly put in the general fund first before we put it into parks and recreation, supposedly through the years there hasn't been much over that. Well, we just had a state audit done from the state comptroller's office, and there's almost $80,000 that they found specifically that's earmarked. They earmarked it for parks and recreation and tourism. Not many people know about it, but that money can be used for parks, it can be used for ball fields, it can be used here at the chamber office for tourism, but it's not being publicly announced. There's others too, that I can go into. So, especially the nonprofits, those, I'm all about the nonprofits, but I feel like the budget committee or whoever makes these decisions ultimately, they need to visit them, boots on the ground. If senior citizens needs money and it's a little bit extra than last year, why? Let's go figure it out. Do you have a leaky roof? Is there a van that needs fixing? Whatever it is, let's get engaged with them and figure out exactly, what it is. And, the East Hickman Volunteer Fire Department, for them to get $3,000 when they're serving 4,500 people in the East area. And we're only providing $3,000. And I understand they're nonprofit, they need to raise their own money, and I get it. But the reality is Friday at 5 Star, we just raised a third at least of what the whole county provided them. And there's an issue there.
Yes.
But that's just the beginning. There's, like I said, I'm not going to go into too much detail beyond that. I believe they're great things. We're considered a 3-star county, so whenever it comes to grants, a typical county, let's say Williamson County, usually they may be an 80-20. So to get this grant, they'll have to pitch in 20% to get. But us being a 3-star, sometimes we can get things that's 1090 or even 595, where the county only pitches in a little bit. So as long as there's not some kind of huge restrictions on what we can and cannot do with it, but ultimately use it for that specific reason, I'm all about getting some grants and whatever we need to do to get them. In the past, I would publicly put it on Concerned Citizens or Facebook of what is about to happen, especially when things are important.
Right.
If it's got to do with the EMS, EMA directors, or whatever it is. If it's something important, a cleanup resolution, I try to get people in the know, besides just videoing the meetings myself. But one thing that I want to push as a county mayor is to have video in the Justice Center room for these commissioner meetings. I'd like to each one have a mic, and I like all of it to be on video and in our face, and maybe even have our own channel on the county website that I plan on upgrading Right now they use a template top style website, and we need to go to at least an HTML or something that's a little more upgradable besides templates. And I'm the person to do that. Because even like right now I could create something like that with help of people I know, that, you know, we could create a beautiful website and have it made looking excellent when it comes to having access to the video of the commissioner meetings or updates or, you know, anything like that. But as of right now, we don't have much of any of that. In the past, I think part of what has put us in this position in our county is we've been voting for who we know, our cousins, our friends, the nice guy. And there's candidates that I'm friends with, you know, that are nice guys and girls in the Register of Deeds. And, you know, I think this time, 2018 is vital though, because we have progressed to the point where Williamson County is literally busting out the seams. And then we have Dixon County that rent has shot up in the past year or two. At some point, people are going to move to where they can afford it. Now, right now, they can't move here much because there's no place to go. There's no new subdivisions being built. There's no apartment complexes around. So as of right now, we're not taking advantage of it. And I understand there's pros and cons to that as well. But if it's a plan and if it's structured and doing it in a way that's good for the county, then I'm all for it. So 2018, we need to vote someone in that has leadership skills, that will work hard and get things done and show up every day and work. And I hope that this time we vote in the person that will do that, that's ready to get it done. And sometimes that's going to require, if it's myself, to reach out to numerous people, to have contacts, to understand that I don't know everything, but I will find out. And I think that's what's vital in this election. And I hope the citizens understand that, and I hope that they choose that.